The women who walked to the tomb that morning were not walking in hope. They were walking in grief, carrying spices to anoint a body, doing the last tender thing they could do for someone they loved and had lost. They had watched the crucifixion. They had seen the burial. They had lived through the silence of Saturday. And now they were moving through the early morning dark with the weight of people who have accepted that the story is over, doing what you do when you are trying to honor an ending. They were not prepared for what they found. The stone was gone. The tomb was empty. And two figures in dazzling clothes asked them a question that has been echoing through history ever since. Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you? Luke 24:6-7 records those words, and they are the hinge on which all of human history turns. Not a metaphor, not a legend, not a spiritual experience that the disciples interpreted as resurrection. An empty tomb, a folded cloth, and a question that dismantled every assumption those women had carried to the garden that morning. He is risen. Those three words are the most consequential claim ever made in human history. If they are false, Christianity is a beautiful myth and nothing more, a comfort for the dying and a code of ethics for the living, but ultimately no different from any other human story. But if they are true, if the tomb was genuinely empty, if Jesus genuinely walked out of death under his own power, then everything changes. Death is not the final word. The worst thing that can happen to you is not the end of your story. And the God who raised Jesus from the dead is the same God who is at work in your life right now, in whatever Friday you are living through, in whatever Saturday you are waiting in. The resurrection is not only a past event, it is a present power. Paul writes in Romans that the same Spirit who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you, which means resurrection is not something that happened once to one person in a garden outside Jerusalem. It is the operating principle of the Christian life. God specializes in bringing life out of what looks finished. He specializes in rolling stones away from places that have been sealed shut. He specializes in finding people who are walking toward tombs in grief and turning them around with news they were not prepared to receive. The question the angels asked is worth sitting with today. Why do you seek the living among the dead? Where in your life are you treating something as finished that God has not finished? What stone have you accepted as permanent that he may be in the process of moving? What grief have you been carrying to a tomb that may already be empty? Easter is not just the celebration of what happened to Jesus. It is the declaration of what is available to you. New life, fresh starts, the stubborn insistence of a God who will not let death have the final word in your story either. Here is what Easter asks of you today. Receive it. Not just as a historical fact to affirm, not just as a holiday to observe, but as a living reality to step into. Name the thing in your life that most needs resurrection. The relationship, the hope, the version of yourself that got buried in a hard season, and bring it to the God who raised Jesus from the dead. He is not limited by what you have already accepted as over. Share the news with someone today. Say the words out loud, "He is risen," and let the saying of it remind you of what you actually believe. And let the empty tomb reorient how you see everything else. The grace of Easter is that it is not earned by those who believed first. The women who found the empty tomb were not the ones with the strongest faith. They were the ones who showed up in their grief and were surprised by a joy they had stopped expecting. God meets you in your grief too. He meets you in your doubt, your exhaustion, your resignation, your walking toward the tomb mornings. And He has the same news for you that He had for them. He is not here. He has risen. Which means the story is not over. Which means the worst moment is not the last moment. Which means there is more, always more, because the God of resurrection is not finished yet. He is risen. And that changes everything.